art as a tool for meaning making. What does that mean? Making sense of like our reality, what we're feeling. And so when I launched the Cure for Racism project, one of the projects that we introduced in that book was the painting collage and doing it as a journaling exercise. And so the goal is to take something, and this is an example of like a personal practice, a microhabit, if you will, that you can use to help transform a situation. An example of how art as a container helps to transform a situation. So we begin with journaling about something that we don't feel great about or that we're feeling really bad about. In the case of the Cure for Racism project, people were invited to journal about racism. And then after that, we then turn out the collage pieces, we tear those up, and you're putting like your frustration, your feeling, your anger, or whatever, into ripping that journal entry up. Then we rearrange it and to create a painting collage. And I think these I was doing to show people how to do it, even if you don't have art supplies, just using Crayola watercolor, no, water-based markers, the Crayola like children's markers, and just using those with a little bit of water and a paintbrush to get a watercolor effect. And at the end, you transform something that you feel really icky about into something that you feel better about. Even if you don't think it's the best art you've ever done, you feel better in the process. And there's some prompts and reflection questions that you're using as you're going about this. But this would be an example of how we use art as context and art as methodology to create a transformation at an individual or at a personal level. And this is just another example of one that I did. But this is a great example of how we use art as use art to create a container for our own healing and to cultivate our own resilience. And this is directly related to why I see cultural systems innovation as a new category of I guess change management, where you're focused on each individual as a manifestation of the system, because the system in and of itself without people is just a concept. You need individuals to actually actualize whatever the vision is for a given system. And so I'm interested in finding other people who are curious about what's possible when we start to look at what changes when we focus on healing people instead of traumatizing them.